I used to spend most of my time worrying about how everything will turn out in my life. After learning the importance of living in the present, worrying is a complete waste of time. In the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, Dale Carnegie provides 4 tested methods to conquer your worries. Problems are solved through rational thinking and decisive action, not worry. Robert Frost says, "The reason why worry kills more people than work is that more people worry than work." Preoccupying yourself productively will prevent a lot of your worries from arising. You'll come to realize how insignificant they were when you stop feeding them. Hey everyone, and welcome to Self University. Make sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's begin. Today, we're going to learn about how to stop worrying and start living. Nearly a century ago in New York, Dale Carnegie found that many students from his public speaking course struggled with a series of unproductive worries. After he composed anti-worry techniques from admirable leaders such as Henry Ford and Ernest King, Carnegie constructed experiments on his students for approximately 5 years. Students tested the techniques, then reported their data back to Carnegie. There are many ways to alleviate worry. However, Carnegie found that there are 3 particularly effective methods that will eradicate your worry under any circumstance. The first method will eliminate 90% of your worry. The second method will eliminate the remaining 10% of your worry. Then the third method will prevent your worries from reoccurring in your present life. Starting a project requires a goal, a plan, and the commitment to complete it. Every time I wanted to begin a new project, I constantly thought about how I knew nothing, had no money, or even that no one would buy my idea. I constantly lingered over the thought of it, yet never actually getting anywhere. I spent time on it but failed to make any significant progress. Instead of focusing on one project, I put my time into many projects, which resulted in nothing. The first step to solving your issues requires you to sit down and analyze the problem. There are 2 questions to consider. What am I worried about, and what can I do about it? Reflecting on my own situation, I asked myself, what am I worried about? I'm afraid I won't be knowledgeable enough to produce a worthy product to sell. Then, what can I do about it? I could change my idea. I could go into a different industry. I could ask for help from someone more experienced. Or finally, I can become an expert in my field so that I could be credible enough to sell it. If I learned everything there is to know about my product, I will be able to market it to a wider audience. After writing down my options, I was able to organize my thoughts and make a clear, rational decision. In the book, Carnegie tells us that experience has proved to me time after time the enormous value of arriving at a decision. He writes, "I find that 50% of my worries vanish once I arrive at a clear, definite decision. And another 40% usually vanishes once I start to carry out that decision." Once I analyzed my options, I saw that the 4th one was the most probable solution to my issue. I was worried because I had no knowledge about the topic. So I began researching my product every day for a few weeks. Learning the ins and outs of your markets will give you the advantage to sell to anyone. Anytime you feel worried or anxious, sit down with a pen and paper and write down the 2 following questions. What am I worried about? And what can I do about it? Describe everything your worry entails, then list a minimum of 3 potential options to consider. Finally, decide which solution will bring the most positive result to your problem. If you're unable to decide, try out the course of action for 10 minutes to see if you feel satisfied. If not, proceed to the next option until you have arrived at the most definite one. Now, for the remaining 10% of your worries, mentally accept the worst case scenario. Working in the service industry requires you to interact with people on a daily basis. If someone doesn't appreciate your service, what do you think is the worst thing that could happen? Usually just a negative comment or review about you. Instead of focusing on the negative outcomes, focus on how you can provide excellent service for every single customer, regardless of their response. Some may be rude, angry, or even disrespectful towards you. However, if you provide the best service to anyone that comes in and out, they might even give you a large gratuity, request you for another service, or even offer you new opportunities for excellent hospitality. Carnegie tells us that if you can't sleep, then get up and do something instead of lying there worrying. It's the worry that gets you, not the lack of sleep. Worrying is a habit caused by overthinking the past and future, but rarely about the present moment. It causes us to drift into an unproductive state of being. Instead of acting, we don't react at all. If we are focused on providing our best efforts in every second of our work, every day, we'll be able to sleep soundly instead of worrying about how things might turn out. Eliminating all your imaginations puts you in a position of power to work efficiently every second of the day. William James, father of applied psychology, proclaims that we must be willing to have it so. We must accept the worst, accept that what has happened cannot be changed, and the only solution is to create better opportunities while we move forward. Whatever the present reality is, be willing to have it so. Worry evaporates when you embrace the moment instead of resisting the reality. As a result, we have the ability to carry out the next constructive step towards creating an ideal life with a clear, decisive mind. Make a list of important tasks for the next day. Then ask yourself, what if I can't complete any of these tasks tomorrow? When you shift your mind to examine your task, you will feel a sense of commitment to dedicate your time to fulfilling your task. Your sense of unfulfillment will become an opportunity for you to accomplish your goals. To prevent worry from recurring in your life, you must live in day-tight compartments. Carnegie writes, "Let's be content to live the only time we can possibly live, from now until bedtime." He suggests that we must shut the iron doors on the past and the future. Ask yourself these 3 questions to get back to here and now. Number 1. Do I put off living in the present in order to worry about the future? Number 2. Do I embitter the present by regretting things that happened in the past? Number 3. Could I get up in the morning determined to get the utmost out of the next 24 hours, regardless of the circumstances? This requires you to shut the iron doors on the fears of yesterday, worries of tomorrow, and solely focus on the potential of today. Remind yourself that you have every day to become better than yesterday. Go to sleep knowing that your accomplishments today pave the way for success tomorrow. Carnegie advises, the best possible way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate all your intelligence, all your enthusiasm on doing today's work superbly today. That is the only possible way you can prepare for the future. With diligent work, each day is filled with satisfaction. To summarize on how to stop worrying, number 1. By writing down precisely what you are worried about in detail along with a clear, decisive plan, and immediately carrying it out eliminates 90% of your worries. Number 2. Be willing to have it so, means to accept that things are the way they are. By accepting this mindset, you will then work on how you can improve things that you can control. Number 3. Live in day-tight compartments. Wake up every day knowing that you have the ability to change anything you aren't satisfied with. Each day brings new opportunities. Dale Carnegie's message has impacted people for decades. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. If you learned something new, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our amazing content. Check out these other videos that we have, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.